did they choose clothes that the average person would be scared to wear? What is up, Maury Squad? Welcome back to The Artist Way, week 6. Here we are. Let's get straight into it. What a week, what a week. This week was about recovering a sense of abundance. It reads, this week you may tackle a major creative block, money. You are asked to really look at your own ideas around God, money, and creative abundance. The essays will explore the ways in which your attitudes limit abundance and luxury in your life. You will be introduced to counting, a block-busting tool for clarity and the right use of funds. This week may feel volatile. Ooh. I wonder if I've been keeping up my counting practice. I don't think I purchased anything. I did purchase something, but it wasn't my own money. Maybe that does count. Maybe I should write it down. Okay, cool. So let's get straight into the questions. It says, how many days this week did you do your morning pages? Have you used them yet to think about creative luxury for yourself? Well, how was the experience for you? I did my morning pages 7 out of 7 again. Have I used them yet to think about creative luxury for myself? Yeah, I've definitely taken the opportunity to use morning pages as a way to think about abundance and think about my concepts around God and source and what I'd like it to be versus what I've believed in the past. And that was a very interesting exercise because I haven't thought about that in a long time, and that's felt like something I've just pushed off for a while. So talking about that and exploring what my beliefs are around source and God and like outside of religion and just sitting in the spirituality, because it's funny how spirituality is definitely correlated to your sense of abundance, and that's just my perception of like understanding how great and large source is, and therefore how great and large the world is and abundant it is. So I think that source and money and abundance are all connected. So there was one thing that I read that I thought was very interesting. It says, all substance is energy in motion. It lives and flows. Money is symbolically a golden flowing stream of concretized vital energy. And I thought that was such an interesting definition of money, about like we tap into it based off of the energetic substance that it is, and it lives and flows, and we have to be able to co-adapt. It's not even co-adapt, but cohabitate with it in order to experience it. So this was a very pivotal week, to be honest, and it's very interesting how it's at the halfway mark. So I have used the morning pages to think of creative luxury for myself and different ways that I can become more abundant and looking for that. And the experience has been very helpful. I found myself navigating through certain opportunities that came up, reflecting on if I had said yes to abundance this week and to freebies. I've also looked into, throughout my morning pages, exploring my relationship with source, as I mentioned earlier, and it was very helpful to really try to double down on my belief and my trust in source. Like if I don't trust anything in life, one thing that I can trust is in source. And how do I do that on a daily basis? How do I connect, and how am I looking to further that connection? Not just for the abundance piece, but just for a curiosity piece of understanding like what is source trying to tell me at all times, and like am I abiding by that? Am I in line and aligned with what I'm supposed to do and where I'm supposed to be? So that was very helpful, and I really like using morning pages for that. One of the things that it said to do that I've been struggling to do, think of questions before you go to bed, and then use your morning pages to find the answers for the questions by just exploring the train of thought. So that's something that I keep forgetting to do when I go to sleep, to think of questions, instead of just waking up and exploring. But I've still been doing the morning pages regardless, but in the chapter it talked about doing that. Did I do my artist date this week? Have I considered allowing myself to do 2? What did I do and how did it feel? And it's funny that it asked, have you considered allowing yourself to? Because I was thinking that this week that like, oh, I'd love to do another one, but is that going against the rules? And it was funny because one of the tasks was regarding natural abundance, and there was 2 tasks that we had to do. We had to find 5 rocks that were pretty or interesting, and then we had to find 5 flowers or leaves that were pretty or interesting. And the initial artist date that I had, I got a gift card to anywhere that I wanted, and I chose Zara because that used to be my favorite store, and I haven't been there since. But I thought of it as an opportunity to shop and explore and like have fun while exploring, but it was only $50, and I forgot. Zara is pretty expensive. Like it's pretty hard to find anything under $50, and I didn't want to spend any extra money. I ended up spending $2 over to just cover the taxes, but it was pretty expensive. And like when I first went in, I spent the entire walk there through the mall looking at people's outfits, because I'm also doing my visual image file and capturing things. And I wanted to find somebody who dressed in a very cool and unconventional and outlandish way and add them to my visual image file. And I thought it was very hard. It was very hard to find somebody who dressed very unconventionally. Everybody never really stood out. And it wasn't about like how a person looked. It was like, did they choose clothes that the average person would be scared to wear? So I was looking around trying to see people who did that based off of their vibe and their energy, and I'm like, oh, I've seen this similar type of vibe before. This is nothing new. And then I went into Zara and I was upstairs and I was browsing looking for pieces under $50. And I saw this guy and he was wearing an outlandish thing, but he made it look comfortable. I saw three people, including him. I saw some guy that I was walking down the main streets of Toronto, and he looked like a model. Like he was just walking. He looked like he was on a break, but he looked like he dressed with intention. And I was like, oh, I didn't have my phone out to capture him. And I was walking, and he made a loop around the block, and he came back. And I still didn't take a picture. I was like, okay, the next one. And I kept looking for one. And I saw a lady who was dressed kind of differently, and I didn't have an opportunity to take a picture because, you know, just randomly clipping a person on your phone kind of seems kind of sus. But this last guy, I was like, third opportunity will not miss me. So I was exploring pieces for under $50, and I saw him right beside me looking at stuff, and he was trying stuff on. So I took a picture of him through the mirror, and I thought that was perfect because it wasn't inconspicuous. Sorry, it was inconspicuous, and it could just look like I was taking a picture of myself. But I was able to be inspired by his outfit because it was unconventional, and like, he rocked it. Like, it's not something that I personally would wear, but understanding that like I'm not pushing myself outside of my comfort zone because do I blend in? Like, I was wearing a red shirt. Color-wise, sure, I'm standing out, and like texture-wise on my shirt, I'm standing out, but it was a pretty basic outfit in my opinion. But he was wearing like a hot pink thing, and I was talking to my girlfriend recently, and this can go into synchronicities this week because I was talking about how I haven't seen anybody wearing hot pink or color recently, and that guy was wearing that, and he was wearing camel pants and like some like flat shoes, and I thought it was just an interesting outfit because not that I would wear it per se, but it stood out in a very subtle way. Like, if he wasn't in the store, I think I would notice him. He was wearing a crop pink top, and like he had like glasses on and like a necklace, and it was a very interesting outfit. Nobody else was wearing anything close to that outlandish type thing, but it wasn't out of this world. It was still pretty tame. Like, that was probably a Tuesday for him. Anyways, so that was probably a synchronicity that I wanted to add. I'm jumping questions to talk about that, but I did allow, that was the first artist state, and throughout this artist state, I really made a point in the effort to, at first I was struggling to find a piece, and I was like, I need the one piece that's under $50 that's like worth the gift card that I got. And after, I'm like, yo, I'm not thinking in abundance. And so I was struggling. I went through almost everything like twice or three times, trying to find like good stuff. Everything that stuck out to me, I was like, yeah, I know that's like $150. Like, I already knew it. But that's not the point of why I was there. I wasn't there to just leisure shop. It was like, how can I get the best bang for my buck? And like, be inspired by the piece, whether it's like something I haven't had before, or like something that will last me a while, not just something for the sake of getting something. I ended up grabbing every single item that I could find that I liked under $50 and tried them all on. It came down to two pieces. One of the pieces, since we're heading out of the summer season, I didn't grab it because it was like a polo sleeve shirt, but I thought it was nice and I could use it for an upcoming occasion, but like I wouldn't get good use of it. And then there's this other like grayish green textured shirt that I thought was very interesting that I ended up purchasing. So that was the first artist date. And then, as I was mentioning earlier, about one of the tasks was the natural abundance task. So we had to do two of them, one for the flowers, one for the rocks. So I literally just came back from doing that, and I took my dog with me. I also took him to a dog park, which is where I found the flowers and the leaves, and then we went to another park, and that's where I got the rocks. And the morning pages was helpful because I knew where to go based off of the morning pages. Like, the morning pages, I didn't go out aimlessly looking for it. Those specific locations came into my mind as I was writing morning pages, so it's been pretty helpful. But to get back, that felt like a secondary artist date. The only challenge was, an artist date, you're supposed to do it by yourself. So bringing my dog and still having a focus on him was it still felt like an artist date. It still felt like an outing just with myself, but my focus was still on him. So I have thought about allowing myself to do two. But overall, the artist date kind of felt stressful. I didn't feel completely happy. I didn't feel completely fulfilled, but I was glad throughout the process it took me to get to the final thing because I was inspired, my head was up, I was walking, I felt my energy was open, and I was very observant of people and paying attention to a lot of people and making eye contact and just being present the entire time. So the artist date overall, it was great. I really benefited from it. I haven't been exposed to a lot of people in a lot of thing and like paying attention to how people are walking, how they're dressed, and different stuff. So I was in a very observant mode, which is very cool. So that was the artist day question. In regards to, did you experience any synchronicity this week? And the third question, what was it? That was one of the synchronicities about the hot pink thing. I don't know if there was other synchronicities. Nothing else is coming to mind per se right now, but in terms of abundance, I've been looking for a bag because my bag is ripping, and my girlfriend went to an acupuncture course and she got a bag and offered it to me. Initially I said no, but then I realized one of the things was talking about accepting new flow in your life and practicing saying yes to freebies. So that was one. And then there was no other issues that I faced in regards to my recovery. So thank you for watching, and like, comment, subscribe, do all those good things more.